Hello everyone. In this video of chapter carbon and its compound, I am going to talk about the functional group, heteroatom, and compounds, organic compounds, chemical properties. Let's start. Functional group. Functional group, we can say that it is a group of atoms or an atom which used to join in a specific manner, and it is also responsible for the characteristic property of the compound. Actually, there are two terms. One term is functional group and another term is heteroatom. Heteroatom means, for example, you are having one hydrocarbon like CH4 and one hydrogen is replaced atom like chlorine, and the compound which would form is called as CH3Cl. Name of the compound would be chloromethane, and the atom which is taking place of hydrogen in methane molecule is heteroatom here. In functional group, you will get to see the group of atoms which used to get bonded in a specific manner, and the group of atoms which is replacing the hydrogen in hydrocarbon and arising the new molecule having new sets of chemical and physical properties. In class 10, we are having the four functional groups. These are alcohol, aldehyde, carboxylic acid, and ketone. First, let's talk about halide or halo group, or you can say the heteroatom. Heteroatom could be Cl, Br, I, F, etc. And the compound which are having heteroatom like CH3Cl, I told you just now, the name would be chloromethane. Chloro will be treated as prefix here with the name methane. Similarly, if I have a compound C2H5Br, prefix would be bromo and name of alkane would be ethane. Bromoethane would be the name of the compound. Now let's start with the alcohol, or you can say the functional group. Alcohol is OH. When OH group is replacing one hydrogen atom in a compound, the alcoholic compound will arise. For example, in one hydrocarbon CH4 and one hydrogen is replaced by OH group, the compound would be called as methanol. Why methanol? Because methane, one carbon atom, and all is a suffix. Compound would be methanol. Similarly, if you have a compound having two carbon atom and one hydrogen is replaced by one OH group, the compound would be called as ethanol. So basically, all is the suffix which is used for alcoholic compounds. Next is aldehyde. Aldehydes are CHO group. In CHO, the carbon is bonded with oxygen by a double covalent bond and hydrogen is singly bonded with carbon atom. Its suffix is al. If you have one carbon atom and you are seeing methane aldehyde group, the compound name would be methane plus al, which is methanol. Similarly, if you are having two carbon atoms and you are seeing aldehyde group, the name would be ethanol. Next functional group is carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid is COOH group. In COOH group, the carbon is bonded with oxygen by a double covalent bond. Another carbon is also bonded with the same carbon atom with single covalent bond, and oxygen will further bonded with hydrogen atom to give you the carboxylic acid group. Carboxylic acid group suffix would be oic acid. That means if a compound is having one carbon atom, the compound would be methanoic acid. If the compound is having two carbon atoms, the name would be ethanoic acid. Now the another functional group is ketone. Ketone is CO group. In ketonic group, the specialty is both the valencies of carbon atom has to be fulfilled by the bonding with carbon atoms only, and the suffix which is used for CO is -ome. If I have a compound like CH3CO, CH3, the name would be propanone. If I have a compound having four carbon atoms, CH3CO, C2H5, the name would be butanone. Now, let's talk about the chemical properties of carbon compounds. First chemical property is combustion. Combustion, carbon compound used to burn in oxygen. to give you carbon dioxide and water. Similarly, you have learnt in your lower classes carbon is burning with oxygen to give you CO2 and heat and light. Basically, in all combustion reaction, you used to see the evolution of heat and light. Now, with this combustion reaction, I would like to tell you why the substances burn with or without flame. For example, you must have seen one candle, and you must have seen the LPG in the gas stove. You must have seen both the flames, but you must have also seen the coal. When coal used to burn, there would be no flame, and the candle wick or LPG is burning, there would be a flame. Because the flame is only produced when gaseous substances burn. When wood or charcoal is burnt, the volatile substances present vaporizes and burn with the flame. A luminous flame is seen when the atoms of gaseous substances are heated and they will start glowing. The color produced by each element is a characteristic property of that element. Similarly, you must have seen the formation of coal and petroleum. Coal and petroleum has been formed from biomass which has been subjected to various biological and geological processes. Coal is the remain of tree, ferns or other plants which used to buried millions of years ago, and they used to crust inside the earth, and they were pressed down by the layers of earth and rock. They will slowly decay into the coal, and oil and gases are the remains of millions of tiny plants and elements that lived in a sea. When they died, the body sank into the seabed and it would be covered with silt. Bacteria will attack on dead remains and turning them into the oil and the gas under the high pressure, which is subjected to. The silt is slowly compressed into rock, and the oil and gas seeped into the porous part of rock and got trapped like water in a sponge. This is how the coal and petroleum used to form. Now let's talk about the another reaction, that is oxidation reaction. Oxidation reaction used to be given by the compound which is having alcoholic group like ethanol. When ethanol is oxidized in presence of oxidizing agent like alkaline KMnO4 or acidic K2Cr2O7, alcohol oxidize into carboxylic acid group, or you can say ethanol will give you on oxidation ethanoic acid. Another reaction is addition reaction. Addition reaction is the characteristic property of unsaturated hydrocarbon. Unsaturated hydrocarbon used to add a hydrogen molecule in presence of nickel and palladium, they will turn up into saturated hydrocarbon. That means the compounds which are having double bond or triple bond in between the carbon atoms, they will undergo addition reaction. And when the hydrogen is getting added to unsaturated hydrocarbon to turn up into saturated one, the reaction would be called as hydrogenation reaction. Hydrogenation reaction is the reaction which is the by which animal fats, or you can say the unsaturated fats, used to be converted into the saturated fats. Animal fats generally contain saturated fatty acids which is said to be harmful for health. Oils containing unsaturated fatty acid used to be chosen for cooking purposes. The last reaction is the substitution reaction, and the substitution reaction, like its name is defining, it is the characteristic property of saturated hydrocarbon. One hydrogen atom used to come out, and in the place of hydrogen, one heteroatom used to get attached. For example, methane molecule is reacting with chlorine molecule in presence of sunlight. One by one, all hydrogen atoms used to be replaced by all chlorine atoms. Like in step number 1, methane is reacting with chlorine and one hydrogen is replaced, and that place used to be occupied by one fluorine atom to give you molecule CH3Cl. CH3Cl will further react with fluorine molecule in presence of sunlight to give you CH2Cl2. Then CH2Cl2 will further react with Cl2 molecule to give you CHCl3, which is also called chloroform. And chloroform finally react with fluorine molecule in presence of sunlight to give you finally CCl4 or carbon tetrafluoride. In this, all 4 hydrogen atom has been replaced by chlorine atom. So this is all about the reaction used to be given by organic compounds. Thank you.